Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Friday edition of Today in Sports Betting. As always, I'm joined by my partner. It is Mr. Scott Reichel. Scott, you and I both took it in the shorts on our play of the day yesterday. I'm not sure which of those picks ended up being worse. I mean, statistically, I think they were really close to the same, actually. I was trying to cover 12.5. They lost by 21, and you were trying to cover 17. They win by 7. What they win
Yeah,
by?
they won by 5.
So, since
It was my fault, as a handicapper. I should have expected UTEP to be up 14 at the half against Kansas on senior night. It's kind of my
Jesus. So much for your senior night theory, buddy.
tell you what, it was 5-0 and it was 5-1-0 or something like that. It was the first
Yeah,
loss.
it had been running really good. And it did allow the Jayhawks to win the second half by 19.
Mm-hmm.
So that was helpful. But good God, that was an awful first half for the KU
Well, it
Jayhawks.
proved my theory that Kansas could have killed them because they did in the second half. They just decided to sleepwalk through the first 20 minutes.
And this is a UTEP team that had played some pretty good games this season, but my goodness, they had gone in the tank at times. They
were useless on the road.
They had a game where they put up 33 points on the road. You're like, how do you back that team? And KU, granted, most of them have come against Iowa State and Kansas State, but they've been very good at covering big numbers. So
yeah, and I figured, it's one. Bill self-scheduled the game solely so they wouldn't have a long layoff before the conference tournament. So Kansas was taking it seriously, and UTEP was one of the worst road teams in the country.
Yeah.
Just didn't work out. In hindsight, I was stuck between Kansas and Iowa. I took Kansas, and of course, Iowa beat Nebraska by about 40.
Beat the brakes off of them. Yeah, that was a lot of the Iowa covered, Michigan covered.
I think Baylor pushed. It really depends on what number you got.
Yeah, Baylor was right there.
Well, that was the annoying part, is that the things I mentioned on this show, I said I liked Michigan under, easy winner. I mentioned Oklahoma State over, that one. And, so if you followed me on my leans and stuff, it worked out, but play that I didn't. So, sorry.
Yeah, Texas.
Texas won, that's right.
Winning outright, so yeah. So, Scott, we've got a game today that I know that everybody's been clamoring for. It is it's a rematch of a game that happened just a couple of weeks ago, and I for one, it's just simply it's event TV. You plan your whole evening around it, and of course, I'm talking about Arkansas Pine Bluff taking on Mississippi Valley State. Man, are you psyched?
I think I have to be. Now, before the people who are watching this think that this is some kind of meme, it is. But if you look at the actual schedule in itself, you realize there's really not many great games to talk about. And we have a rare toilet bowl where a 3-20 team is against a 2-20 team, and the 3-20 team is laying double digits. This is really something else, isn't it?
Well, we have to say, of course, that these two teams have met twice already this season. And Mississippi Valley State, while I'd like to tell you they kept it close, they did not. They lost the first one by 46, 77-31, and followed that up with a much better effort, losing by just 20 at Prairie View A&M.
Wait, you said Prairie View A&M, they're playing Pine Bluff.
Or sorry, that's right. That's right. You're right.
Once this season, and Pine Bluff won at home by 40.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I got the wrong shitty team from that conference teed up. That's right. It's Pine Bluff.
Prairie View A&M is actually the best team in the conference. So they're actually not that bad. They're undefeated in conference play, but Pine Bluff.
They I got to be honest, they run together for me in that conference.
It's really fair. The names run together because they're all about 45 words.
Yes, everybody's an A&M. It's not good.
Serious question, though. How do you lose to Pine Bluff by 40? I don't even think a D3 team would lose to Pine Bluff by 40.
You're not good. That's how you do it, Scott. This team gets scores 51.8 points at home, and that's not good, my friend. That is
not good.
That is not good. Where do you want to start? They shoot 39% from the line, or from field goal. From field goal, yeah, they shoot 39% from the field. Good 3-point shooting team when they can get one off. They're 38.5%, but holy crap, they're dreadful at the line, shooting just 57.9%. And They put up 3 offensive rebounds a game, Scott. So they're not getting a lot of second chance points. They get out rebounded by an average of 13 per night in that conference. So tell me why I want to take Pine Bluff here, buddy.
Well, the truth is they won the first game by 40, and that's kind of the only reason why you would take this team. Because believe it or not, Pine Bluff has lost 12 in a row. Shocker, the team that's 3-20 lost 12 in a row. Mississippi Valley State, on a high note, beat Grambling at home in its last game. So it is entering this game following a win.
They're on fire. They were a 17.5-point dog, beat Grambling by 4. And I remember before they covered again. They covered earlier against Grambling as a 25-point dog. They lost by 13. So, you know what, Scott? Let's make a pick. I got a feeling people are probably not feeling the joy for this game that we do.
I just think it's symbolic of the card.
What's that?
I just think it's symbolic of the entire college basketball card.
Well, the rest of the card isn't that awful, but
but you know what I mean.
It's not good. I can't take Mississippi Valley State. I just can't do it.
I don't blame you. I don't know if you can call it a get right spot for a team that's lost 12 in a row, but considering the fact that it won the first game by 40, it's laying 10. I'll take the 3-20 team laying 10 here, which just sounds ridiculous, but I can't. Mississippi Valley State, we made jokes about earlier this season, would pretty much cover everybody's mortgage, and I think they did because they were getting 40 and they would lose by 90. And, well, if you lose, do I think they're going to lose by 40 again? No, but I do think Pine Bluff will probably win by 15.
Yeah, this is the only – there was one other time this year they had a line of they were getting 8.5 from Alabama State. That's the only time it's been out of double digits. So, yeah, give me we went a long way for that one, but you have to fade Mississippi Valley State.
I thought it was worth bringing it up, and I'm sure we're the only show from any company
that's right
that is going to break down that game.
That's right. So, yeah, very good there. Scott, we do have one decent team in action tomorrow, and that's going to be Loyola. They're up there in Chicago. What do you got for that one?
Well, I see right now it's not really available on most books. Some do have it up already because it will be at noon. It's going to be Loyola minus 14, give or take, and the over-under is around 124.5.
And who are they squaring off with?
They're playing against the Salukis.
The Salukis of Southern Illinois.
Correct.
And what do you got there?
Well, I do think that this game is a bit fascinating because these teams have a lot of recent history against each other, because it's one of the situations that you might notice from some teams is that since they are playing conference schedule, of course, before the conference tournament, sometimes you play against the same team numerous times. And this will be the third straight meeting between these two teams. Loyola won the final 2 regular season games against Southern Illinois. Both those games were actually very close. They won by 8 at home in the first meeting, and then ended up winning in overtime by 7 at home in the second meeting. Now it's on a neutral. Loyola's laying 14. I think it's too many points. Because Southern Illinois, in Loyola's backyard, we know how good Loyola is, 16-2 in conference play, and it has won, I believe, 13 of its last 14 games, something like that. So the fact that Southern Illinois was able to hang around not once but twice in a row, and now they play again on a neutral, I think this line's too high. So if I really had to play it, I'll take the points.
All right, very good. I'll go along with you there and take the points.
Let's see with the total. I mean, the total's at 124.5, which means that points are going to be at a premium. You look at these two games. First meeting had 112. Second game went to overtime, had 123. You had 11 points in overtime, so that means we're looking at around 112 again. So if you're looking at a total that low, I got to take the points because I don't know if Loyola can actually score more than 65.
I'm with you. Yeah, they grind you down to dust on the defensive side, but I'm not sure they have enough offense to take care of business there. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that's one of those white knuckle plays. Another pretty good team trying to get well here, Scott, is Toledo, dropping that last game to Central Michigan as they square off against Ball State. Ball State had their number earlier in the season, winning outright 81-67, kind of a shocker there, as the Cardinals were a 9-point underdog. And now they enter this one. Toledo is laying 8.5 to the Cards. Toledo get well here?
Oh, you know who had Toledo -9 in the first meeting? This guy. That was my play of the day from a couple of weeks ago.
Outstanding.
Never had a chance. But looking at this matchup here, Toledo, I don't really know what happened against Central Michigan. I don't really know. I can't even describe what happened. Central Michigan's missing like half of their key players.
Right.
They still won the game. But looking at this matchup here, I got to go with the over. Toledo, we know, is an offensive juggernaut usually. Ball State offensively has enough firepower to put up some points. We saw in the last game, ended up scoring 100 against Eastern Michigan. Now, I know Eastern Michigan's terrible, but you're looking at these games, they've won 3 in a row. Played Kent State, scored 90. Played Central Michigan, scored 97. Played Eastern Michigan, scored 100. So if you're scoring 90 minimum in each of your last 3 games,
Right.
I know Toledo has a good defense. They give up 81 against Central Michigan, but still, I think this total's too low. I like what I've seen from Ball State. This team seems to have embraced the ultra up-tempo style of play over the last week or two, which has resulted in a 3-game winning streak. I think they're going to stick to it, and I think you'll see a ton of quick possessions, a lot of quick shots. I like the over. I think you'll probably see a game that I'd say lands in the high 150s, low 160s.
That seems like a decent prediction. All right, I'll play that one with you. Anything else get your attention here?
Well, there was one game I thought about pulling the trigger on, but decided not to. I'm really just staring at this North Texas UAB total.
Okay.
At 127, which I know is really, really low, especially in college basketball, but there's a good reason why North Texas has a total that low, and UAB isn't exactly a team that loves to play at a fast pace either. You actually go through the KenPom rankings for these teams. North Texas is one of the slowest teams in the country, 339th in offensive tempo. If you want to look at the actual numbers between these two teams, UAB, 16-7 to the under. North Texas, 11-8 to the under. And in the road games, UAB is 6-2 to the under. This team just can't score. And I know that it had a massive shootout against UTSA in its last game after the first meeting landed at 121. But UTSA is one of the faster teams in the country.
Right.
I see a rock fight among rock fights here. North Texas, if you go through the numbers, these totals have been in the 120s, 130s all season long because everyone knows that this team plays slowly. Still has gone 6-1 to the under in the last 7. I really just see a hideous basketball game where one of these teams gets to 60, one of these teams probably doesn't. So I like the under there. I think that game probably lands in the high 1-teens. But that's, once again, kind of a lean there. Because anytime you're looking at college basketball, 127 for a total,
right,
you get a little bit squeamish.
Yeah, definitely true. It doesn't take a very long patch of trading threes to
or
kind
free
of
throws late in games. It could get really dicey.
Yep. So, all right, bud. All right. Well, you know what? You got anything else?
Not really. I mean, I got a play that a video I'm going to make. Truth is, I was trying to actually go through the card for about 30 minutes to an hour, just looking at the lines alone before going down research, because I really just couldn't find a game that actually just jumped off the page. Usually there's one or two when you follow almost every team that just stares you in the face.
Right.
I didn't see that tonight until I actually dug a little bit deeper. So I found something. I'll make a play on it. But for the most part, it's a pretty underwhelming day in sports for Friday.
Yep.
You have the Celebrity All-Star Game, which are they still doing that actually?
I don't know. I haven't heard.
I haven't heard about it, but still, you have no NBA. You have no real, I'd say, quality teams. I know that might sound harsh if you're a fan of Colorado State or some of these other teams, but at night, really not much on the card. So, try to find something to watch, try to find something to do. Might be a decent night to pick up a book because some of these games are really just not that great.
There you go. And, of course, if you're looking for information on any of these games, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives into every game every single day. We wish you guys nothing but the best today. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners, appreciate you guys stopping by. And, let's have some fun, make a little money, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.